For Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, this year should have been the best or among the best of his political career because he's managed to do what no other Israeli Prime Minister could. 4 peace deals and counting. Under Netanyahu's leadership and thanks to America's nudge, Arab nations are normalizing ties with Israel. But foreign policy wins do not always translate into domestic political gains. And so Netanyahu will have to fight again to retain his chair. Israel is bracing for its 4th election in 2 years. The unity government of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Benny Gantz has crumbled. This is after the two sides failed to pass an annual budget. The next election is in March. And Netanyahu remains the favorite, but he faces challenging days ahead. Our next report has more details.
It was at this moment that the inevitable happened. The Speaker of the Knesset announced that Israel will have another election.
I must say that unfortunately we were unable to find enough common ground to prevent another round of elections and enable the 23rd Knesset and its members to exercise the mandate given to us.
This will be Israel's 4th election in 2 years. The first 3 were inconclusive, but the pandemic forced Benjamin Netanyahu and Benny Gantz to join hands. A rare government of national unity was formed that didn't even last 9 months. Israel's parliament, the Knesset, was dissolved on Tuesday after the deadline to pass the budget expired. The leaders were quick to switch to campaign mode, with each side blaming the other for the crisis. Netanyahu fired the first shots.
We are against elections. This is a wrong decision by the Blue and White Party. But if an election is forced upon us, I promise you that we will win.
Among the people, the frustration is palpable. They blame the leaders for failing to deliver a functioning government. With the pandemic still raging, Israelis say an election is the last thing they need right now.
So I think the early election is very bad for Israel, and in general it's a very frustrating situation that we got ourselves into. The political standstill for the past few years is very, very bad in general, and our leadership is not doing what it's supposed to do, which is take care of Israeli citizens, and the situation is very, very, very sad.
Well, naturally, a 4th election in less than 2 years isn't what the economy needs right now, isn't what the country needs, isn't what the people needs. In the middle of the pandemic, it's not over yet. We have started with the vaccines, but a 4th election isn't good for anybody, I think.
Netanyahu is fighting to retain the Prime Minister's office for a 6th term. He faces another rival this time, Gideon Sa'ar, a defector from Netanyahu's Likud party. Sa'ar is an experienced hand. He has served as Israel's education and interior minister. Now the Likud rebel wants to eat into Netanyahu's supporter base. An opinion poll shows Sa'ar drawing even with Netanyahu. Benny Gantz has fallen behind. Political competitors is not Netanyahu's only problem. Public outrage is also a major challenge. There is anger over his response to the Wuhan virus, though Israel has already begun rolling out vaccines. Plus, the Prime Minister faces corruption charges. The campaign for the next election will unfold during the hearings against Netanyahu. The court proceedings may require him to appear in the defendant's dock several times. Despite the tough odds, Netanyahu has promised to fight, with a new challenger turning this election into a 3-way contest now. Expect Israel's political crisis to grind on. Bureau Report, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.